Alright, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. To the men on the highways and the byways that are pushing out this word, truth, and sincerity. And to the remnant men, women, and children of the elect, I want to say Shalom to you all. My name is Ahyash, the Great Millstone, New York City camp. And this is going to be of a bit of a testimonial. Something that happened to me the other night. Yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it. So I was coming back from getting something to eat. I stopped at this little spot, got some food, and while I was eating, I had in my my headphones, I was listening to the elder apostle Tahar's video, where he was going into spiritual power when he got emotional. Obviously something that we I'll speak for myself, that I haven't seen, elder apostle Tahar or heard him in that way, which for me, honestly, it's eye-opening, and in its own weird way, it's faith boosting. It's a faith booster for me. The other apostles are men of the Lord. The Lord bless these men with 100% truth. Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Rakai, Elder Apostle Ramlab, the elder bishops, the men on down. The Lord has blessed the men of Great Millstone with 100% truth. And as you hear their testimonies over the years of the things that they've been through, and on top of that, the things that we've learned from them. Obviously the breakdowns and the prophecies that was written, but also we learn from them through their experiences. So when these men give testimonials, or when you hear them, get emotional like that, for me, it's eye-opening, and it confirms for me that the Lord is dealing with these men. Just through the spirit of faith, man, and you gotta believe in what the Spirit is doing in these last days. The Spirit is showing us a lot. Obviously we got to measure the times diligently in ourselves, and diligently, and we also have to be persuaded in our own minds. So not necessarily, I'm not trying to say my faith is driven by other men, because it's most certainly not. The Lord has dealt with me in many ways and shown me many things, and I have my own testimony ever since I was a kid. But we know we're at the end, and spiritual power is a big part of the will of the Lord concerning the elect. It's a testimony to Yahawashi's power. The Lord the Heavenly Father wants to show us His power. But before that happens, we have to believe in it. We have to believe that it's real. And I believe that it's real, and I believe He's dealing with men. I believe He's dealing with men on the earth. I believe Elder Apostle Tahar poured out those emotions as a almost as a, just a lifelong testimony in his faith and his truth, because he during the video he had mentioned 40 years. He's been doing this for so long. And sometimes when I think about that, I think to myself, only through the power and the spirit of Yahawashi is that even possible for the Lord to hold up this man for so long and put him through so much, seeing men come and go, seeing prophecy happen, see things not happen, maybe the way they may have thought at one point would have happened, but it didn't. But it didn't deter their faith. They continued to believe. And I can only imagine the so many various things that these men have seen, which ultimately these are the things that Yahawashi has shown them. And I don't mean to just go off on like a tangent about this, man, but I had to sit and meditate with the video that Elder Apostle Tahar did, with him getting emotional like that. It's lucky for just kind of just going off. I don't know, just where my mind is at. I just wanted to hit the button on this, but I want to get into what happened to me. So I was eating, like I said, and I was listening to the Elder Apostle Tahar's video, and finished eating, paid for my food, got up, got a phone call from a friend. I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and as we were talking, I was kind of like walking down the side of the road. I was on the phone, so I wasn't necessarily really paying attention to what's going on. Not to say I wasn't on point, but I was just focusing on my conversation. And what happened was, now mind you, Elder Apostle Tahar's video was about spiritual power and how men are going to be endowed with a level of power that men just aren't familiar with. Bringing up Superman, going into the movie Superman, Kal Halal, all powerful, and things of that nature. And so I was walking down the road, and this guy pulled up in his truck. He pulled up like ahead of me, probably like 20 yards ahead of me, and I was walking in his direction as he pulled up ahead of me. But I was walking very slowly. I wasn't like walking at a regular pace. I was just baby steps. And the guy got out of his truck and he walked in my direction, and he said to me, he said, "Excuse me, man, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, let me let this pass by, hold on. He said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "Does it hurt when you teleport like that?" And I didn't really know what he said. I didn't really understand what he said at first, because I couldn't imagine, like, you know what I mean? It kind of threw me off. And I said, "What you say?" He said, "When you teleport like that, did it hurt?" And I was like, "Well, what you mean, man?" He was like, "Nah, because 1 second you was here, and then the next second you wasn't, and then you was back here, and then you wasn't again. I just want to know, did it hurt when you teleport like that?" And I kind of chuckled and was like, "Nah." I was like, "Man, I really don't know what you're talking about, man." And he was like, so when I said to him, "I really don't know what you're talking about," he turned around, just was like, "I just wanted to know if it hurt," and just walked away and got in his car and pulled off. He got in his car and pulled the U-turn and drove the other way. And I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, what is this? Like, what's this guy talking about, man? Teleport. And then I kind of didn't. I was like, all right, whatever, man. And then it hit me. I was like, oh shit. I literally just got finished watching a video about Apostle Tahar's video about spiritual power. And that's just the connection that I made. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and get up on this video and say that this man saw me teleport. I know exactly what happened. Got up from my food, walked down a block, and maybe a 2-minute walk from where I was eating at is where he pulled up. So it's not like I was traveling. I was right there. But for that to happen to me in that moment, it really just spoke to me, you know what I'm saying? Because there is no such thing as coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence whatsoever. I don't believe in I believe that things happen when they're supposed to happen, exactly how they're supposed to happen, when they're supposed to happen, etc., etc. And when and after I sat with that, you know, I was just sitting there, and I actually got, because when I was watching Elder Apostle Tahar's video, when he got emotional, I got emotional. You know what I'm saying? When he got emotional, I got emotional. And it was just heavy for me, man. I don't even really know where else I'm going with this video. I just wanted to share it, man. And I'm not really sure if it's gonna mean anything to anybody watching this, but it means a whole hell of a lot to me. I know that. And it's just a testimony that I wanted to share, man, because ain't no way that happened like that and I don't share it. It took me a day and a half to share this. Yeah, about a day and a half to share this. I think this happened Tuesday night, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, it's spiritual power is on its way. It's a part of that glory that we are to receive. Lord's willing. I say we, man. Lord's willing. I'm a part of the elect and those men that will be endowed with spiritual power. You know, and be able to mount up with wings as eagles, like the scriptures say. I think that's Isaiah the 40th chapter. But I just wanted to share that, man, because there was a Palestinian looking dude, you know, and yeah, man. So yeah, that's it. I just got a couple of scriptures. I'll just read a couple of scriptures. This is 2 Corinthians 5:4 in the NLT. It says, while we live in these earthly bodies, we groan and sigh, but it's not that we want to die and get rid of these bodies that clothe us. Rather, we want to put on our new bodies so that these dying bodies will be swallowed up by life. I mean, when we put on those new bodies, we will be able to teleport. We will be able to defy the laws of gravity as is. And be those gods, be gods on the earth. You know? And have that type of power. You know, many Yahawashis, right? Our spirits are calling for that type of power, you know? And we're calling for the new heavens and the new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. You know, a place where everything is back in course and back in order. You know? Because order will change things. Truth and order will completely change the course of how things operate. You know, when a world resides in 100% truth and order, and things function by a heavenly order, just that alone will make things that much better. You know, this is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse, get right to the point, verse 31. Verse 29, it's like he giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. So the Lord's going to increase strength to the elect. Okay, give power to the faint, because we're faint right now. These bodies are no good. These bodies break down easy. You know, and I can tell you, I can give my own testimony about that, man. I'm you know, my body is going through a lot. You know, I played high level sports for the majority of my life, and my body's been through a lot. You know, my knees and my ankles and my everything, man. And I'll be 47 years old this year, and my body's been through a lot, and I can feel it. I can feel my body breaking down. You know, I do my best to try to stay in shape. You know what I'm saying? You know, I still get up and down the court when I can. You know, do my calisthenics. Try to eat pretty good. You know. But even with that, you know, there's a limit to that. You know, but we owe it to ourselves to kind of stay on top of that, stay on top of our health, stay in shape, man, because you don't want to do anything that's, you know, detrimental to that. Along with, you know, what Esau got going on, these defiled foods, spraying shit in the air, the water's all jacked up, GMOs everywhere. You know, the stress that we go through with work and at home, family. You know, we live in survival mode. We live in survival mode every day. So with that, you know, you gotta maintain, you gotta balance that out with your own sense of you know, somewhat of a healthy lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do your part. Okay, and don't speed up the process by, you know, the elder apostles always tell us, man, you shouldn't be eating no fast food, shouldn't be drinking no sugary drinks, juices and shit, man. You know, drink your waters, drink your structured waters, get into the herbs like the apostles always say. You know, do what you can, man. Alright. It says, even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young man shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord Yahawah by Yahawashi shall renew their strength. And that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking for renewed strength. The scriptures say the Lord shall restore our health. You know, I think that's Jeremiah the 17th chapter, 30 and 17, if I'm not mistaken. But the Lord say he'll renew our strength, renew our health, restore our health, Salakia. Okay? It says they shall mount up with wings as eagles. Okay? They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. Okay? Again, we'll be blessed with powers to defy the laws of gravity, man. Be up in the air. Run without getting tired. You know? Navigate the seas and the oceans and the water, you know what I'm saying? Without life preservers, scuba gear. Being one with the earth, being one with the elements. You know? I always envision not having to wear shoes and just walking with my bare feet in the earth and being one with the earth, and you know, the earth absorbing my feet and my body, and you know, that's what I envision, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously I don't know what the Lord got in store, man, but Lord willing, I'm a part of the elect, and you brothers, you few amount of sisters as well, man. Those we out there doing the work with, man. You know, it's about enduring at this point. We will be blessed, Lord willing, with those powers, man. But I just wanted to give this testimony because it was heavy on my spirit. It's something that I felt like I needed to share. It's something that I felt like maybe would be, you know, helpful to, you know, those who seen Elder Apostle Tahar's video. And I'm sure when other brothers saw the Elder Apostle's video, they felt the kind of way about the Elder Apostle, you know, with his emotion and the things that he shared, because, you know, when our Elder Apostles speak, it's important for us to lock in, not only because they have the Spirit working with them when it comes to this word and these scriptures, but they have a level of experience in the world and in this truth that can be very beneficial to us. So you don't want to take that for granted, you know. And yeah, man. So I'm gonna leave it there, man. I hope this video was beneficial, faith boosting, edifying to the Lord's elect. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great Millstone who we well. Peace and salutations to the elect. As always, Shalom.